Great YouTube, Captain Machine here, back for another update. Little piece of news here and there. I'm currently working on my Ork Army, as you've already seen. I've got my 1,000 points done. I went to the tournament. I didn't take any footage though. I didn't feel comfortable doing so. I don't think I've got that kind of clout to actually walk into a tournament and say, I'd like to film everything, please. So, if there's any film, and to my detriment, it's probably a good idea because I came second to last. Granted, it's my first ever tournament. This is my first ever proper army in this, anywhere close to this edition of the game. But I did it really, really badly. I was hemorrhaging points left, right and centre. It's surprising I didn't end up at the bottom of the table. Which is disappointing because I play Orcs, obviously, as you've seen. And there were 4 Orc players there, me and 3 others. And the 3 other guys got 1st, 2nd and 3rd place. So clearly, the army, as it written on paper, will work. It's just my army selection, or my playstyle is pretty terrible. So it's something to work on. I went to Games Workshop today to pick up a Mega Knob because in my second army I bought, which is the basis of my Ork Army, I got 4 of them. I want 5 and got a bit of a coup because this is £7. You see it on there. I believe they're actually £9.50 normally, which is very expensive. Normally I would go to a third party to pick these up, but I thought them £7. I thought actually that's not a bad price. I mean, obviously it's expensive for a model, but for Games Workshop standards, that's a pretty good price. So I took it to the till and it rang up at £9.50. And I questioned it and I said, look, it says £7 on the packet, can I have £7 please? And he went, oh, it's a mistake, obviously, but, you know, are the others like that? And I went back and there was a couple more on the shelf and they were all marked up at £7. And I look, it's not me. I mean, I'm not switching labels. The entire shelf is like this, so I got it discounted, which is pretty cool. I've got some more paint, so I'll be doing some more painting. I'm getting some nice rhythm now, my Orcs, so I can get it done real quickly. Any particular model. Vehicles take me a bit longer than normal, and when I encounter a new model like the Mega Knob, when I start painting it, I've got to figure out how I'm going to paint it, what bits I'm going to ignore and keep them black, what bits I'm going to paint red or green or metal or whatever. I'm also starting to paint NPCs and PCs for Pathfinder, because I've got this huge, not a huge bag, it's like about that big, 2-tier carry bag for models, which I've had for a long time, and it's been in storage for a long time, full of all these random fantasy figures, random clerics and fighters and all that. Not from any particular range, not from like GW or anything like that, but from little third-party companies. A lot of Ralph Parther stuff, some Mithril, and some stuff that I've got no idea where it came from. But I picked them up at convention stuff, and I've started to paint those as well, because I've got the painting bug and I want to, well, not I won't say get out of the system, but one of my New Year's resolution is to paint what I have. So that's been a lot of fun. I'm currently in, once again, I've got my blog to the side, which is all about my Orcs. I'm currently in a little Tale of 4 Gamers League thing, which me and 3 of my mates are doing. Linking the sidebar to my friend's blog for his Tau Army, and he's also recording the results for the league. So if you want to know how I'm doing, I'm in joint 2nd/3rd out of 4th. So I've won 1, lost 1, drawn on 1. So I'm doing average, I would say. But I'm hugely enjoying it because we're giving ourselves deadlines to get things painted in. It's given me the motivation and the inspiration to carry on, and I would appear I've picked a really good time to pick up Orcs because a lot of good models are coming out from like the Killer Cans and Dreadnoughts. So I expect more videos in the future about my Orcs. If you don't want to watch it once again, just skip over the video. Did a little bit of eBay, went a little bit mad. Picked up minions for Call of Cthulhu, which is a 1920s module. Most Call of Cthulhu modules are 1920s based, and this was published in 1997. And according to the price tag at the back, wherever it was sold originally, it was $5.99. Ironically, I got it for £6 off eBay. I've seen this going for a lot of money, and it's one of the few books I don't have from that era. And I bid £22.50, £22.50, because the way that eBay works at the moment, you tend to find that people leave their bidding up until the very last moment, and they basically increase their bidding in pound increments as a form of sniping. And I've realised that although that will work for, shall we say, more timid bidders, for people like me, once I've got the right mindset about it, it actually doesn't work at all. All you're doing is you're raising the possibility you would overpay for a product. I mean, I bid £22.50 on this book when it was at £5. And nobody bid against me for the rest of the auction, apart from within the last 2 minutes, where somebody bid it from £5 to £6. So basically, he's increased the bid by £1 to see if I was set at a fiver, and clearly, I was outbidding him, and he wasn't interested after that point. I've had people try and snipe me before, and now I've got my iPhone, which I'm going to do an iPhone app review because I've got a really nice dice-based one for you to look at. Now I've got my iPhone, I get instantaneous messages when people outbid me, so it's very easy for me to deal with that. And I've got to the point now where what I do is I determine how much I'm willing to spend on a product. Not how much I want to get away with, how much I want to spend, and what my limit is. And I put that as my amount, and I just sit back. And they'll do this well, and you tend to find in eBay that what happens is people don't bid until the last day in order to get it as cheap as possible, which is fair enough. It's a good tactic if you're not bidding against someone like me, because what I will do is I'll just simply right from the start, the moment I see it, I'll go, right, I'll put £1 value to that, I'm going to bid that much and not a penny more, and I'll stick it in. So I say, for example, I see a pack of 20 Ork Boys, which I did recently, and I bid 12 quid, because I thought, 12 quid's a reasonable amount, and I just basically watch other people bid against me as it slowly goes up. But no one ever topped me. I think it got to £9.50 or something by the end of it, and I just walked away, happy that I paid £9.50 for what I got. So eBay's a bit weird at the moment. eBay's become very sniper central because there are smartphone apps, there are programs that you can get that will do the bidding for you at the last possible minute. And I don't think that it's going to be of any help to anyone if you bump into someone like me, because I'll just put £1 limit on it, and if you go over it, then you've won it, and I don't care, because you've paid more than I'm willing to pay for it. But I've just realised I've just rambled for like 2 or 3 minutes on that topic. Speaking of Call of Cthulhu, I have been on Yog Radio a fair few times now, which is the podcast for Call of Cthulhu from yogsothoth.com. And I do like to talk about those guys. I'm a bit of a fanboy when it comes to them. And Call of Cthulhu has asked me to do bits for them, because they do accept pre-recorded bits, like 5-10 minute long bits. And basically I said, yeah, I'll go ahead with it. So last episode I did a review of Furnace, which, granted, for those of you on this channel, is pretty much not worth bothering with, because you've already not only heard what my opinion on it, you've actually seen it because I recorded parts of it. And for the second one, which is the current one, episode 41 I think it is, I've talked about box text in Call of Cthulhu, which ironically is quite a rare thing. So yeah, if you're interested, link in the sidebar, and that will be showing you where you can get this, download it. I can't remember exactly where I think I'm relatively near the beginning, but I do recommend you listen to the entire thing. It is very interesting. If you like your Lovecraftian horror, or you like Call of Cthulhu, then I do recommend it, and it's a good listen to as well. And I believe I've run out of topics. Yes, I have. Oh yes, one final thing. I've started playing Mass Effect. I had Mass Effect for a long time, picked it up I think for a tenner at a second-hand bin, and Mass Effect 2's come out and everyone's frothing over that, and I never got around to playing the first one, so I've booted that up and I'm playing that at the moment, and enjoying it relatively. It's not bad. It's not the best game I've ever played, but I'm enjoying it, and the story's pretty good, and I like the universe they've created around it, so I might talk about that again in the future. Depends how it strikes me. Thank you for your time, guys. Goodbye.